What's up? What's happening? What's going on, party people? It's your boy Hollywood T Monies, aka Thor, aka Theron Miguel. Finally back in the building. It's been a long time. Been off the airways for like 2 months. A lot of things have happened in those 2 months. First and foremost, rest in peace to a King Nipsey Hussle. Um, it's funny because when I was about to record again, I think it was around the time that he got murdered. That was about 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago now, out there in L.A. in his hometown. They did him. Um, it was crazy because it was just like, you know, I remember it was like my last weekend at work at one location. I was moving locations, I move around, secure the bag type of dude, but um, still broke somehow. But and I got the news there, and then it became official later on in the evening, and then it was just like weeks straight of just pain and hurt and malcontent, solaceness, sadness. Um, I think that, and the whole city was hurt, and I'm speaking for myself as well as the city of LA. Apparently, I turned the whole song down. I ain't mean to. I'm actually listening to one of his songs right now, watching one of his videos that he did with this dude named Buddy. Um, Status Symbol 3, actually. Apparently there was three Status Symbol songs. Good song, good video. Anyway, it's just a sad, sad situation. We've been hearing many things about it. Um, it was gang related jealousy, or not even gang related, just hometown jealousy, right? Which is really a thing um, in our community or in any community. I mean, people get jealous. At the end of the day, if I'm out of somewhere and I see somebody from the same cloth as me or the same neighborhood and all that stuff, I grew up knowing you, and you now on TV popping, and you got one of the baddest women in the game. Shout out to Lauren Hustle. The whole neighborhood got you. But one of the baddest women in the game, and you just on the rise doing all these things, and you an activist, and you trying to help the community. Jealousy will develop. That's. I'm not saying it's a natural thing, but it's a thing that happens for some people. Like they can't just be happy for that man. They got to be mad about it, right? So it was a jealousy angle that we got, and and we were running with that. But we also got this conspiracy angle, which you know, it's far fetched because you're talking about, obviously they wanted to kill him based on the fact that he was about to what, either end the gang violence, so it was the LAPD, or he was making it too quiet, or it was the Dr. Sebi thing, and the big pharma out here taking bodies of of gang banging martyrs. Like, was Nipsey a martyr for the? It's crazy, right? But it could be a thing. Like I saw an article on Media Takeout, which is sometimes a credible source, but not really. Sorry, I lost my focus watching the video. It's a great video. You should check it out sometime. It's off the Victory Lap album. Lord have mercy. Okay. I need to pay attention to what I'm doing, which is this. Not looking at that. I'm going to pray for all y'all beautiful women. Good God. All right, back to the podcast, man. Let me not get sidetracked. So, my take on it is this. I can see both sides. But it's like, it's so far-fetched for it to be a conspiracy to kill this man because he was going to release a documentary about Dr. Sebi. I mean, you can find Dr. Sebi's information all over the internet, so it's like, but now all of a sudden, apparently Dr. Sebi's trending right now. Um, one thing I will say is that I've never heard more Nipsey Hussle playing in the streets until now. And I've known about Nipsey Hussle for a long time. I mean, I'm from the Southwest. I'm from Arizona. Some people don't really hear it out here in Charlotte like that. But if you're really in tune with music, you hear everything. And I'm really in tune with music, and I was really in tune with Nipsey Hussle. So I had to fall back and just reflect. I've just been reflecting on a lot of things. That one definitely hit me really hard. Um, he will be missed. I mean, he was definitely somebody that will not go forgotten. R.I.P. to a king. R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle. For real. Now back to things that we were talking about way back when. Snitching and bitching. It seems to be the thing the last few years. The first snitch we saw was like, I'm not even going to say light snitching because it was all snitching, right? It was D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell snitched on Swaggy P like 4 years ago when he was about to marry Iggy, caught him up. And then come to find out, I think I'd heard now. I don't know if this is true. I'm not a credible source, but he was trying to holler at Iggy. Like, this is this man's fiance, so nothing is sacred. Sacred? Nothing is sacred anymore. But now we have a man by the name of Daniel Hernandez who is getting his sentence lightened as the months go on. Recently, someone else just accepted a deal in the gang. I mean, I, gosh, man, it's just so crazy to me that this kid came in and somehow took out a lot of players in a well-respected, well-known Northeast New York City, Brooklyn, I think Brooklyn street gang, a blood set. I mean, you infiltrated and took out so many lieutenants, even lead like. Shotty's about to do, I think, a minimum of 11 years. And it said he took some sort of a deal, which means, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he might have. But I don't know if he snitched or he's getting 11 years. Hernandez, I'm not going to call him Tekashi no more. I can't, like, if he's going to come back as a rapper, I can't call him Tekashi. I got to call him Hernandez, you know. And it sucks because he has the same name as another great person who's no longer with us, who went down the wrong path. That's Double A, Aaron Hernandez. R.I.P. to Aaron Hernandez. Probably go down in history as my favorite football player in the history of my life. I mean, it's just the way he played the game. Never mind what he did outside of it. Excuse me, allergies suck. Love Aaron Hernandez. That's a sidetrack. But this Daniel Hernandez kid, man, like you really, it's like he's really out of pocket with what he did, right? Like you went in and you started out as this kid that was at a quinceanera. That's original footage. Your hair wasn't blue, it wasn't red, it wasn't pink, it was just brown or whatever color. You was at the quinceanera. All of a sudden, they say you was briefly a Crip, and then you were a Blood, so you chose the Bloods. You got their backing, and then you get popping in the music world. Like y'all got to remember, Hernandez was putting out hit after hit. He was trending in the direction of Cardi B almost in the music scene. Now, I'm not going to say that it was hit after hit. I'll get to why in a minute. I just don't. I mean, the songs was popping. Yes, they was ready for the club. The clubs was turned up. Like, it's so crazy because the energy that this man commanded out there was nuts. I would say he was more entertaining to me than the Migos, but not Travis Scott. Hernandez just had that energy on stage and in the club. Like, the music was just amped because he was the yelling rapper, right? He was like yelling like Onyx used to yell, but it was a different turn up. And then you got the songs with Minaj, like Fifi, and the song with Kanye, and it's like, I still want to listen to them songs, but it's from the mouth of a rat, and I can't co-sign it. And I know I'm not a street dude per se. I've been in tune with parts of the street life. I'm no gangster by any means, but I understand and respect the street code. You don't talk. That's just something you don't do. So it's like, how I'm supposed to listen to you now and be wanting to be in here talking about Fifi got that. I can't even sing the song, and that's not even his part. That's Nicki's part. I can't do the oh my God. I can't rock with it. That's how a lot of people in the hood will feel. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Me personally, I'm like, damn. Because I've been talking to different people, right? I've been letting all this stuff. I've been trying to gather some information before I come back to your airwaves and be like, I don't really know what to say, or I don't have a lot of insight, but a lot of people are saying, like, he's a snitch, but, oh my God, like, they was wrong because they was all hitting this girl. I'm like, dang, Sarah Belinda out here getting ran through. She's like the bust down Tatiana, right? No disrespect to your baby mom, but if the rumors are true, I don't even think she was getting ran through, right? It was really just like shoddy, supposedly. But here's the thing, I'll say this. Y'all saying he should turn on them, but she laid in the bed with the dudes, whoever she laid with, if she even did. She still spread her legs. She didn't have to spread her legs. You understand? So, I'm going to just say that and leave that at that. You don't snitch if you get caught up. Like, if you sign into that life, one thing I do know, not even being a street dude, if you sign into that life, there's no talking allowed. Well, where were you? I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? We have this film of you. This is you with the rainbow hair. You got the loud ass first down on. I don't know who your stylist is. Told you to get the gold first down from '97 with the buttery Timbs, but you rocking right now. But this right here is you on the phone putting a 30 pack on someone. Ironically speaking, that is a hit, sir. What you got to say about that? That ain't even me. I don't know what you talking about. I didn't put no hit out on. This is you on the phone saying, that's not me. Lawyer. That's all you got to say. Lawyer. Let's see you in court. I mean, that's the way it's supposed to go. But nowadays, the demographic, man, it's cool to see Nipsey Hussle a lot, hanging out in his music videos with his girl, Lauren London. Like, I mean, she was there, man, just ride or die. And, like, that was, I think a lot of, I'm sorry to go back to that and get off of Daniel Hernandez. He's just so snitchy. I can't talk about it for too long. But a lot of what Nipsey transpired was hope and motivation, man. Family man, had the wife, still a gangster, still doing it. Like, so anybody could do it if he could do it. And he wasn't about no BS, He had really changed his way of thinking and was really trying to enlighten the world. And R.I.P. kid. But back to this punk mother. I mean, back to Mr. Hernandez. I don't want to come at his name. I don't want to slander no one, because, if you casting stones out here, what's the scripture? We ain't trying to get religious. Something about a cinder and a stone in your eye and you burn your whole eye out. You know what I'm saying? Long story short, it's like you come on the scene, you get popping, you arrogant, and I started hating him before he was a snitch because I just didn't like his attitude. Like Jay-Z was arrogant, but on a different way. And Pharrell, different way. DMX, I was in tune with all them people. This guy is out here just ignorant child. Him, Kodak Black, that's another one out. Like, all of them just ignorant, man. Like, it's like they got no, and then some people are like, oh, they're just young. I'm like, nah, even when I was young, I might have been ignorant, but I was respectful, and I was humble. And then when the age they are, I was doing music at that time. We was getting a little buzz. Now my man's just doing this thing out in AZ. My man's just doing this thing out in Vegas. Like, I don't even know if anybody's still doing music back home, but I'm coming back to it. Just so y'all know, stay tuned. The bars are coming. I can't stop this thing, man. It's in me, man. I'm a gumshoe for this music shit, man, for real. But trying to stick on topic. Sorry, I ramble a lot. Hernandez, in my eyes, my opinion is what he did was wrong. I'm not going to call him no names. I'm not going to say nothing. What he's doing and what he did is wrong. I don't know how you're going to walk the streets. I don't know how you're going to perform. You can never go back to New York ever again. You might not even be. I don't think he can get popping. Like, I think it's too many dudes that respect the street code for this man to just come home and be performing again without somebody trying to kill him. Like, he's not going to live long. You understand? His best bet would be to go get a job somewhere, hide out, cut your hair off, change your face a little bit, something. Shit, go to Mexico, man, because I just think somebody would try to touch him. But maybe nobody touches him, because at the same time, he is now the feds. Keep that in mind. You snitch, you feds. He part of the Federal Bureau of Investigation into crime and other things. My man, like 9-count snitch. And they talking about he done so much time, he might not even have to do that much time. Like, first it was like 5 years, 10 years. Now it's like he's already serving almost a year, so he gonna get out on a year of good behavior. He could be home this summer. I'm like, he can't go home though. His kid, like, depending on who wanna touch him in the street, like brawling, evil, demented dudes will kill your kid and your baby moms and your mother and let you live with that. You understand? Like, it's not sweet, man, but I digress. I can't keep talking about it. It just keeps coming up because more things keep coming out. So we waiting to see now how many more people. Somebody else just copped. I forget the name. Bam Pop, something like that. Some short name. I don't remember the name, but he just caught. He was one of the last people to get caught. He already fessing up, and I'm like, dang. It's crazy though, because a couple years ago there was a Gangland. I think it was Gangland. It was either It had to be Gangland. It was on. I love Gangland. Like, it's one of my favorite documentaries to watch because all that street stuff is cool to me, and for whatever reason, like, I never really had to be in the street. Like, when we was young, we grew up in Baltimore. My mother was an adult. I was the baby, single child. My sister was there for a little, and we moved. But we grew up in Baltimore, but we never really grew up in the hood. Like, Baltimore City County line, sure, like that was right there. It was right there. Baltimore City County line, we was right there. I went to Hillendale Elementary, predominantly, black school. But none of that was hood about it. We was just some niggas. We was just some little kids. I'm trying to stop using that word. We was just some young dudes. I just dropped my microphone / camera. Sorry. And I never really I saw a lot as a kid. Like, my man got jumped one time. I was there for that. Like, that's probably the most hood thing I saw. I saw racism. Got called a monkey once. Like, I'm just telling stories about my childhood. So I seen a lot of things. Seen a couple fights. Like, it was brawling in Baltimore. Like, you got beef, you fight. Like, that's what it is. Like, in elementary school, mind you. Middle school was a whole different animal. Like, everybody got hormones now. People is trying to get popped. Like, girls trying to get popping. Like, everything is crazy. But I never would say it was really hood, like, because by the time I went to middle school, we lived in the county. Now we live over there by Towson Town Center. So, like, the whole point of me saying this, and then when we moved to Arizona, we lived in the burbs. Like, we infiltrated the all-white school. So I was never really around the hood, but I loved the hood. Like, spent every summer in St. Thomas, went to Jamaica, like, been through all the hoods out there. Slums, like, I'm just gravitated towards it because it calls to me, like, the authenticity of it. And it's not even like an outsider's perspective. Like, I've been in hoods before. Like, I've been through them. I've had friends that lived in them, all that. So I've been there. I ain't gonna say I got no straight equal or nothing, but I know the code of the streets of this. Like, you don't talk. I don't care if 2019 is new fans in the rap game and all these little young kids is listening to it and they can't dance and they got no rhythm and all that. And it's okay because they would do it right away. Like, Godfrey said he needs to go perform in the suburbs because all the hipsters will be like, yeah, man, fucking Tekashi, bro, you're fucking cool. We're going to throw a fucking frisbee at his ass, man. It'll be all good. He can't go to the hood because he'll get shot. I can't wait to see if he comes home and is popping again. I want to see what the rap industry does. I want to see what they say. If 50 Cent still rides with him, that'll just prove that 50 really was a snitch and he really did tell on Black Child when that man poked him up in the Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Let me stop. He didn't poke him up. We don't know who poked him. We don't even know. If he allegedly got to get poked up by something when the lights was off, happened to be somebody in there, ain't nobody see nothing, but apparently 50 said that so-and-so poked him up. So he's a snitch. But he's one of the richest men in the world. Daniel Hernandez, we have yet to wait and see. Just a couple more things and I'll hop off your airwaves, man. It's good to be back. I'm feeling wavy, I guess. Swaggy, as the kids would say. Not too old for this shit. I'm a beautiful thing. Still watching Nipsey. Now we on Double Up. Another video where he got his actual fiance in the video playing an integral role, like just in embracing her acting character and just being in his music videos, man. It's black love, it's black excellence. Black excellence, excuse me. I'm looking for my queen right now. Don't know if I found her. Might have found her. Not sure. We'll see. Shout out to the queen. She know who she is. Maybe she don't. I don't know. Next thing is Kels. I'm gonna call him Kels. I've been like I said, I've been staying off the airways because a lot of things happen, and I'm like trying to make sense of all these things, and I'm trying to do the right opinion. So, R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby. And I put Bill Cosby in there because he's doing his time. He was convicted. And that the conspiracy story. And that one is he was buying NBC Universal or NBC. And they can't have him buying NBC. A black man can't own NBC. That's too much status. So we got to take him out. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know if I believe that. I mean, I believe he was buying NBC. I believe that in the 80s, Quaaludes were a big deal. But I think they were saying it was roofies. But all these 35, 55, however many women was hanging out with this married man. Claire was never, not Claire. Camille was there. He was married. So they chose to go hang out with Mr. Cosby. I don't know. Looking at these video groupies right now in this video, I just don't know if all these women got drugged, willing or unwillingly. If you Bill Cosby, how and why do you have to drug anyone? You're a celebrity, right? Like you're Bill Cosby. You're a doctor at that. Women will throw the punani at you. Throw it. Listen. Newsflash. There are women that will throw the punani at me. And I'm nobody special. You know what I'm saying? I'm nobody special. But women will throw the Punjabi at the kid. So if they throwing it at me, they definitely throwing it at Bill Cosby, Mr. Huxtable, me and my wife Camille and all that shit. Come on. You just gotta keep your eyes open. After Bill, saw Kelly and Michael. Double dip, bow bow. Rip shot. Face shot. We trying to drop all these black excellent people. Now, R. Kelly, supposedly illiterate. R. Kelly did this before. However, the prosecutor, God damn, Nipsey, where do you get these Nubian goddesses from? Like, I'm watching this video and I'm looking at just beautiful women of color, Asians, blacks, and I think she's Spanish, and I think it's a white girl over there, but we're on these queens. Good goodness. Oh no. Anyway, I got to stop getting sidetracked. I'm trying to do a podcast. Nonetheless, my thing on R. Kelly is this. First and foremost, we knew that he had a problem 2003, 2019. Was that 13 or 14 years ago that he was allegedly making tapes with underage women, and we didn't smack him for that one. So if he didn't smack him 13 or 14 years ago, that means that in his mind he got away with it. So if he really actually has this problem, what did you think was going to happen? Also, the parents who have to not be oblivious. If they're parents, they should know who R. Kelly is, unless they just lived under a rock. They're letting these girls go to these houses. I haven't watched the documentary, but it don't add up. It don't add up. Do I think that he may have had sex with an underage woman or two? Yes. Aaliyah was 14, 15 when he supposedly impregnated her, and that's why he married her. So that's awkward. Then you do it on tape, but the girl says that it wasn't her or something like that. Hush money, boom, boom. Awkward. But for all these women to be enslaved, and his wife of years, you were married. Why didn't you leave the first time he violated you? Like, I don't get, you know, I sympathize with people that have been in abusive relationships. I know that's hard, but maybe the first few times or somewhere in there it should have clicked for you, right? It just seems like people are just trying to get a check. Now, I don't know how much money R. Kelly has because he sold all his publishing rights to Aaliyah's mother to settle that, supposedly. This is according to a reliable source that was on the inside. I ain't giving up my information. If you've watched the interview and find out, you'll know. So, man, it's a great video, shot in a great scene. It looks like maybe somewhere up the coast in LA, or it's like a beach house, man. God, I just want to go back to the West Coast. You're just getting all my confessions right now, like Usher. But it's the truth. I want to go back to the West Coast so bad, man. I'm praying to be there. Like, I'm sorry, I love Charlotte, but it's too cold. And these females too cold. Just kidding. We warriors around these parts, man. We making integral prospects and we integrating things and changing things up. But look at, they got pretty feet and all that. He got them with the pretty feet and all that. Yo, that's crazy. I'm sorry. R. Kelly, we're gonna have to see what happens. I'm gonna just wait and see what happens with all that. That's what I believe is the best bet, because it's all in court. And there's a lot of evidence against him, but it's kind of like y'all just trying to get a check too. Now, he's not on the level of a Bill Cosby or the next man I'm going to speak on, which is Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was a billionaire. You understand? A billionaire. He bought the damn Beatles while hanging out with the Beatles. Like, I watched nothing but interviews, and they were like hanging out, and him and Paul McCartney cool, and he said, "Hey Paul, how much would you sell the Beatles for if you were going to sell the Beatles?" And Paul was like, "I don't bloody well now, man, around 60 million, I guess." Michael run right to the spot and get his dudes on the line, and then next thing you know, he owns the Beatles. And Paul don't even know this, and then he's like, "I just buy the bloody Beatles." And he's like, "Why would you do it without telling me?" "I did tell you, Paul. You said 60 million. I gave you 64 million. The girl is mine." You own the Beatles. You own Sony, my man. You own Sony. You know what that meant while he was alive? And for his kids? Every time that Beyonce and Jay-Z sing and produce a song and put it out into the world, Michael Jackson is getting a cut off of that album for the rest of their life, because he owns Sony. So now his kids, who are inheriting all his stuff, will do the same. And they own the Beatles. I mean, this is Michael Jackson was a gangster. Let's not forget that before the bleaching of his skin, it wasn't no damn vitiligo. It was skin bleach. He was one of many to do it. His sister did it, LaToya, in the nose. He was a black man from Gary, Indiana. N-word. I'm trying to refrain from using that word. I'm trying. It's a work in progress. Sometimes you just gotta let it out. But it's a dirty word. It's a derogatory word. I'm trying to remove it from my vocabulary if I can't. Working on it, one day at a time. But however, he was with the ish. He's with the shits. I mean, people like Eddie Griffin, Godfrey, You know, people like that remember Michael on two different levels. I don't know if Godfrey ever met Michael. Eddie Griffin was really cool with Michael, apparently. This guy was a good guy, man. Like, he did all his stuff in secret. And I'm going to say it like this, because I've been on both sides of this now. I've attacked him and I've unattacked him and I've attacked him. So back in the 90s, when the first case came out, which I think was, that would have been, what's his name? Wade Robinson, I believe, was first to accuse. I think, I don't remember. It's all in the video, the documentary. I was watching. I can't finish it. I'm sick of it. Once they started saying that the stories and the timelines didn't add up, I was just kind of like, okay, so y'all just lost your credibility with that. Boom. I remember being like 8, 9, 10-ish and thinking, wow, like that's crazy. But I remember developing an opinion at 11 years old. I was like, I don't think he would do that. All I want to say is that they don't really care about that stuff. And singing my songs. That's how I felt. And little Billy's not my lover. Head ass. And do you remember? So you get the point. A lot of us grew up idolizing Michael Jackson. We're not ready to accept the fact that he could have been this cold, twisted pervert. We don't believe that he was that. I don't believe it. I had a long argument with one of my friends, and his whole argument at the end, I'm like, so what makes you think, it's on the internet? Oh, did you watch the movie? No, I didn't watch the movie. It's just on the internet. So you're listening to the internet. You're listening to the internet and the reliable sources of these people that accused him of doing this, that their stories don't even add up, because he didn't even have a goddamn roller coaster in his house at the time that they claimed they was on the roller coaster. But that's a credible source. And you telling me Michael Jackson was out here spreading buttholes? Ain't no way Michael Jackson was out here spreading booty cheeks. That's just not gonna happen. Michael Jackson ain't gonna just be out here like spread your butt cheeks. Nah. And then jack off? I don't see him doing that. And for y'all that think that Michael Jackson wasn't out here killing punani's, Michael Jackson was out here killing punani's. They were just making fun of him because he talked like this, and oh my God, look at that. I have 3 giraffes now instead of 2. It's such a good investment. And no, tell Brooke I'll see her later. I ain't trying to dick her down today. Shoot, maybe have Lisa Marie come through. I'm tired of Brooke. She's old and washed. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just loved the idea. He loved children because he didn't have a childhood. He wasn't out there raping them kids. It's just too many holes in the story. Like, they got to make us look bad so that we don't look good. And it's funny that all this stuff is coming out. He's dead. And then you got people like Woody Allen and Roman Polanski doing similar things. You got the dude from House of Cards out here raping little boys, but ain't nobody really talking about that. Just saying. I think I've vented enough. I'll come back with more later, because I'm sure you'll hear more from my mouth about all this stuff. I want y'all to stay woke. I want y'all to stay motivated and stay hungry. And just know your boy is back. And I don't always podcast, but when I do, it's sponsored by the Bros Before Elbows Pro Wrestling Podcast. Shout out those guys. Go listen to our show. We'll have another episode soon. Go check out my soapboxes. They're typically up there every week. If we don't do a show, I try to just rant about whatever's going on. I'm going to go back to listening to Nipsey Hussle. Y'all stay blessed out there, man.